Hello, and welcome back to the Misfits Podcast, rated 5 stars on iTunes by Huck Wiggler. He says, I have a question. Is it a sin to pray to God while you bust a nut?
It's a sin not to.
Of course. Every time I'm like, God bless.
If you ain't blessing God with your seed, then
With your
you ain't
seed?
blessing God.
Oh my days. I'm joined today by Toby on the telly.
Hi, I'm Toby on the telly, who is joining Fitz today.
Yes, I of course am Fitz.
He is Fitz.
And this guy across from me is the illustrious Swagger Souls, who is apparently preoccupied
Swagger,
right
we're
now.
recording that
Swagger,
podcast.
we're doing something here.
What?
Swagger, we're live. We're on the show.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I was just playing Raid Shadow Legends on my iPhone. Yeah, you see.
Okay, I understand. Carry on.
Let me turn
Please.
this off for
We'll
you.
just
So-
wait.
Yeah.
So it was funny today. Manager Ryan said, "Hey, we got an ad for Raid Shadow Legends on
Really?
the podcast," and I said, Well, no one else is going to play this, but I like app games, so I'll give it a try and actually see how it is before I promote it." And I sunk about 2 hours into it. I played it in the Uber. I played it while we were waiting for Mitchell to set everything up because, we're recording this on a Friday and we're supposed to record on Wednesdays. So it's been 2 days of, the podcast PC being fucked up and the mixer being fucked up. So I was like, I'll kill some time because I know it's not going to be ready today. So I'll have this app to play. And it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah?
And not ironic, not like I'm trying to sell you guys a fucking app, but more like this is actually pretty good. I'm actually
invested.
I'm probably going to be playing this instead of like, Ball Breaker or whatever the fuck I
He
play.
loves the ball breaker.
You would play Ball Breaker, whatever the fuck that is.
It's I'm just a fucking bored child, so I enjoy having app games on my phone. So Raid, it's just it's like a turn-based RPG. So basically, you get like these champions. You get like you just go through and you do dungeons and shit. You can upgrade your champions.
What
you can,
champion did you choose?
I have a Crusader.
Okay.
Actually.
go
So
figure.
yeah, it was pretty good.
Makes
Wow.
sense.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a nice RPG game. It's it's pretty fucking impressive because usually with app games, like you'll get an app game, it'll look like it should be on like the fucking PS4, PS3.
Yeah, you
PS2.
see like
Fucking,
an
PS4.
Instagram ad
yeah,
or
not
something.
PS4, but it's just like the models are shit, the HD textures are shit, but Raid Shadow Legends is actually
Pretty good.
It looks like a legit
It's-
like you could play it on like a web browser. It's pretty.
It's one of the
pretty
few
decent.
games that actually looks as good as it's advertised.
Yeah. So many app games try to sell you like bullshit, like like they show you gameplay that's not at all what the game
Right.
is, like
It's a
fucking
cutscene.
Mafia City or whatever. But no, that's pretty true to its advertising. It's actually it's pretty impressive. I was happy playing it. I'm probably going to play it for a while.
Right on. Where can they get the app, Swagger? What
You
do they
can-
got to do?
You can just go to the App Store if you have like a fucking Android or whatever. I don't know. You can figure it out.
He's got to hit the talking points.
Go to the video description, click on the special links, and you will get 50,000 silver and free epic. You'll get a free epic champion. Fuck, I got to do that as part of the new player program to start your journey. Yeah, it's a fucking good game. It's totally free. You just download it. It takes just fucking 2 clicks, and then you're like, oh look, and then you can play it.
What a better pastime
Yeah,
than
it's-
to listen to the podcast and play some Raid.
Yeah,
All right?
dude. If you're on public transportation right now, if you're just chilling out, if you're driving, well, not if you're driving, but if you're a passenger in a car, you should fucking take this podcast, put it in the background, then download Raid, mute the app, and then just listen to us as you explore it. And if you like it, then fuck yeah, you got yourself a little time sink for whenever you're at the doctor's office getting your pussy examined.
The worst when that's happening because it
Yeah.
takes so goddamn long.
Always.
Who would have thought the
Yeah.
pussy would be so complicated? Are
Not
they going to
me.
like having that in the ad?
Yeah.
Well, it's in there now.
It's in there now.
Guys,
If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to actually use the link in the description instead of
Yep.
just going to the App Store because it shows the our sponsors that we are actually helping them out.
it helps
So-
us out.
Yep.
That's
So
what
thank
us
you,
out.
Raid Shadow Legends, for advertising for us. I'm just butchering this. Can
Thanks,
we just fucking
appreciate
move
it.
on?
Guys,
All right.
in other news, thanks, Raid. We have a sign now. As you can see, we're on a new set again. Well, it's the same room, but we've like moved the table next to the wall. We got a big old like neon sign up on the wall. Some posters.
Big ol' sex.
Big ol'
big ol'
sexy.
Big old sex.
Big old sex.
Yeah. I mean, it looks great. I think that this is the best the set has ever looked. It's better than the old one at the Misfits house. It's a hell of a lot better than
I
we
do
were doing
agree.
on Discord.
Substantially.
Yeah, way better than Discord.
I think
There
it
was no
looks sick.
set. It was just us in our rooms with latency and
Yeah, but
and lag.
at least then I could be naked.
True. It was a simpler time.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, we wanted to get Mason on this episode because it was his birthday a couple days ago. But unfortunately,
It was his birthday the day we were meant to record it.
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Wednesday.
but we had some PC issues. We just couldn't get the set working or
Yeah.
whatever. So we had to postpone it. Now he's busy getting some B-Day drinks with his uncle. Getting
Hanging with the family,
Yeah.
enjoying his birthday. So we figured, let him do that. But we had to make sure we recorded the podcast, just to make sure we get it out in time. We don't want Mitchell slaving away 24 hours straight just to get this thing out.
because we stay grinding, yo.
We stay grinding, yo.
Do you
Yo.
want- let's talk about Mason's birthday though, because it was a good night. It was it's an interesting night.
Yeah, it was pretty all right. You want to start?
I guess. Well, I mean, good to see Mason again. He came in, had a big old meeting, which he,
Yeah.
while we were doing this big meeting, him and his little brother Kobe were just basically fucking with each other.
To set the scene, we have this big conference table over there, and all the employees, there was, 12 people,
Yeah.
sitting around this conference table discussing, writing notes and stuff, having a proper business
It
meeting.
was going on for like
And
2
then
hours.
Mason and Kobe were just in the background of the office, just doing backflips
Yeah, they were
and
chasing each other around, playing tag, around the fucking table and shit.
actual children.
Playing with a basketball. They opened a can of spray paint and sprayed one of our merch hats, and I think
Did they?
Mason's own
Yep,
headphone.
and-
Yeah, it's got
No,
orange
yeah.
spray paint all over it.
Our podcast headphones, there's a set of podcast headphones over there that have been sprayed with orange spray paint.
Really? Does it look good?
We could bring it over here.
Looks all
We
right.
could bring it over here.
I didn't hear about that
It
part.
adds
Yeah.
character.
I see.
Well, Mitchell said that's going to be Mason's new pair of headphones. So when he's on next week,
I bet it
he'll
be.
fucking wear them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all dry. It's not like it's going to come off on his ear or anything. It's good paint. So yeah, it just looks fucking splotchy and hilarious.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And yeah, then didn't they go down to our little weed room and break a bong as well?
Well, you say
Yeah.
weed room. It's actually
It's a bathroom.
It's a bathroom.
It's a weed room.
But basically, we have these stairs. So it's a semi-steep stairwell that leads down into this area where it's just a bathroom, basically. And there's a bit of glass in there from bongs and stuff.
Yeah, I almost stepped on
And-
fucking glass shards in the shower when I went to shower there.
Mason and Kobe were throwing a basketball up and down these stairs, and the basketball bounced off Kobe's head and hit a bong, and the bong
bong
exploded and glass went
shattered.
everywhere.
Which we all heard during the podcast. All we hear is this glass shattering and then just giggles from down the stairs.
Yeah, and we were like, what just happened? And then someone was like, they just broke the bong, didn't they? And we were like, oh, that's probably what happened. They were just there going ooh.
We were in trouble.
Yeah, they were so fucking pissed, dude. They were so drunk. They were having birthday drinks. When we were walking up to the office, because we had just gotten out of dinner with a business
right.
partner, we were walking back, and
Yeah.
we're under, and Mason just sticks his head out the window. He has a beer in his hand. He's like, oi, oi, what's going on? And we were like, oh, hey. And then someone, I think it was Sam, goes, oh, drop it, dude. We'll catch it. He was like, are you sure? And Sam was like, yeah, dude, do it.
For context, there are a few stories up, and
Yeah,
we're
dude.
on the street.
Yeah, so he leans out the window and drops the bottle, and it falls and just shatters, and a piece of glass hits
Fucking
Sam
idiot.
right in the bridge of the nose.
I don't
and
know
he just
what the
started
hell
bleeding.
he expected.
I don't know either.
I don't know what they expected,
It-
saying drop it. Of course he was going to do it.
The
Well,
last time we
even-
fucking threw bottles in Poland, it fucking busted.
Even trying to catch that from that height
yeah, it'd be so
is dangerous
hard.
as shit. It could easily just broken in your hand. You'd have to catch it and then bring it down.
Like an egg.
Yeah, like an egg.
Catch like an egg.
Which might have been okay. But it reminded, as soon as he said it, it reminded me of this old David Dobrik video where they were throwing wine bottles to each other. And obviously a bad idea. And of course what happens is one of them breaks. He misses it, it breaks, and it just breaks apart and goes right into his forearm.
Oh!
Cuts in his forearm. Has to go to the hospital for it.
Fuck that.
Great clickbait, but
Oh,
obviously
Sure.
not the best
For the
idea.
the expensive, a $500 hospital bill.
And don't worry, we did clean up.
Oh, yeah, it
the
was
broken
clean up. We're
glass,
not-
etc.
yeah.
We are idiots, but we're responsible
We're
idiots.
responsible.
Ish,
Absolutely.
to some extent.
Right. What else happened? I left after the meeting. What happened after the meeting?
Well, I was pretty exhausted that day. I had a big old day, big old stream in the morning, and then long ass meeting, a lot of time at the office. So I was ready to go home, being the old man that I am. I've been trying to get to bed at 11 these days. trying to keep my schedule in an early hour. But of course, I forgot that as a friend, you're kind of obligated to get fucked up on your friend's birthday. I was like, oh yeah, I guess I actually probably can't get out of this one. And Mason's like, come on, come to Ryan's, it'd be fun. And it's Mason, I can't say no to that kid. And Kobe played a big part in convincing me as well. So I downed the Gamer Subs.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, Gamer Subs has a very special
30%
promo on.
off.
30% off.
If you've ever wanted to try Gamer Subs, now is the perfect time.
What a great segue. I did not plan that. But Gamer Subs, if you use code Misfits on gamersubs.gg.
Right now, you will get 30% off.
30% off. So if you wanted to give it a try, if you wanted some gamer energy, now's the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I drink a Gamer Subs. I'm immediately turned. And I start doing a little bit of the marijuana, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God.
I know. Oh my God, the Uber ride to Ryan's house.
Oh,
the best.
yeah. Yeah, it was fucking... Kobe's about to get in. Kobe's Mason's little brother. He's about to get into the Uber. He's still got a beer in his hands. And the Uber driver goes, no. You can't bring in. You must get out. And so he's like, all right, man, right. He goes out, he throws it away, and then comes back in, and just the Uber ride is like, you ask the Uber driver, hey, can I connect to aux? He's like, sure.
I love connecting to the aux
He
in
connects
an Uber.
to the aux, and he's like, what's some bangers to play? And who suggested what you played?
I think that Kobe was like Crazy Frog.
Yeah, he wanted to play one of Crazy Frog. We blasted fucking Crazy Frog.
Axel F, the dun 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 dun. Actually, now that I revisit it, low key a bit of a banger.
No, high key.
It went hard.
High key a
it
banger.
Went hard in the Uber, and this poor Uber driver is just gripping his steering wheel, staring straight ahead at the road, and everyone is just like bump bump.
Yeah,
bump,
everyone's
bump,
fucking
bump,
jamming.
Bump bump. Bang bang. You know what I mean? You know the whole song.
Fucking Kobe's going he's like we're literally singing along to the lyrics.
Yeah.
And Kobe's just like, come on, Uber driver, come on. It was fucking awesome.
Just tearing up the streets in Melbourne.
The entire way there. It was like 25 minutes, man.
Well, the other song I played was Mason's old intro song.
Oh, yeah.
The Nitro Circus remix, the trap one.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also, I don't know. It was a very fun Uber ride. I love that kind of
It was
stuff.
a really good time.
Good time. We get to Ryan's and proceed to continue to smoke and drink and hang out. And it was pretty chill. We just kind of chatted and hung out and for a little bit. And then I'm kind of looking at the clock and it's 1 a.m. and I'm thinking, man, I probably should go home. And then Kobe goes, "Oi, Kim, do a dab, cunt."
Right, do a
Those
dab.
exact words. And a dab, for those of you who don't know, Swagger is now going to explain it.
Sure. Well, dabs, in this sense, it's a wax made from marijuana. So Ryan, whenever I was over to take showers at his place, because I didn't have gas for a while, just got gas today, so fuck yeah, hot showers.
Nice.
Anyways, so I'd go over his house and he'd go, hey man, we're out of dab wax, we need you to make some more. Like, okay. So he has a metal pipe, like a canister with a hole at the top that has like a nice screw lock so that you can make sure it's secure. You have to take the screw lock off, you have to take it off, and you have to grind about an ounce of marijuana to put in there, like a really decent amount. You have to pack it in really tight, and then you close it up. It's on a stand, and you put the stand over a bowl, and there's a hole at the bottom, like a screen hole at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
So as it's over the bowl, you take a can of butane, pressurized butane, and you pump it through the top. And what the butane does is it will dissolve all of the THC, the CBD, anything that's oil soluble will dissolve into that, and it will go in a liquid state because you're pumping it through pressurized can upside down, and the liquid will fall out the bottom into the bowl, and so you'll have a mixture of liquid butane.
Some straight meth shit.
This doesn't sound healthy.
It sounds like
No,
meth.
it's liquid butane mixed with the THC and anything oil soluble that was in the marijuana. And so what you have to do with that, because obviously you can't consume liquid butane, that would really fuck you up. You have to double boil it, which means you need to get a huge bowl, fill it with boiling water, and then you stick the smaller bowl in there, and then it will immediately start evaporating the butane off. And you have to do that for a good couple of minutes, 10, 15, even 20, just to make sure that all of the butane has been evaporated. And mind you, the entire time you're doing this, you need to be extremely careful that no fucking idiot is going to come outside and light up a cigarette, because it's fucking butane. It's flammable. If that shit goes off, it's essentially a pipe bomb. but you know, it wouldn't explode, but it would
Sounds
probably
more like meth every second.
This is why you're cooking in an RV.
Yeah. But, you know, we do it in a properly ventilated area. I never do it when I'm intoxicated. You know, it's just fucking, it's really easy chemistry.
Well, they don't teach it on the cooking channel. You know,
No,
I'll tell you that
they
much.
don't. It's not on Binging with Babbage. That's for fucking sure.
Crazy.
But
I
yeah.
actually didn't even know about the process. I thought it was just wax.
No, the process, and that's how you make the wax. At the end, all the butane boils off, and what it leaves is essentially like a wax or an oil that you scrape together using a knife, and then with that you have, you know, you get this little tool that you scrape up, and then you take a blowtorch, you light a dab rig, so it's a rig specifically for hitting wax.
It's like an advanced bong.
Yeah, it's essentially a bong. It has water and everything in it, but the piece that you use, it's a glass piece, like glass bowl, and then you have to light a blowtorch, get it red hot. Let it cool down for about 30 seconds, and then you put in the wax. The wax will immediately vaporize, and then you just inhale it, and then you cough for about 30 minutes. That's where dabbing comes from.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that actually why it's called that?
Yeah, because when people fucking take a dab, they cough their lungs out, and they're just going.
Are you kidding? I had no idea that's why it's called
their
that.
arm.
That's so funny.
So every fucking little kid doing dabs, fucking Fortnite is marijuana reference.
Podcast editor, can we put some like ukulele tutorial music over Swagger's explanation?
Yeah, go for it, man. It would be so much fun. But yeah, I mean that's the basics. And just a quick disclaimer: that is not an instruction guide for any of you guys to follow.
Of course not.
If you are under the age of 18, what are you doing? You fucking weirdo.
Also, just to be clear. This is all done in a rig that is like designed to do this.
Yeah.
So
don't try to do it yourself. You'll blow your hands off. So you just don't do that. All right, just buy it like a normal person.
I had no idea that so much complicated processing went into my
it's
little
not,
dab.
It's not even complicated. It's very easy. It's just dangerous. You need to understand the science.
Well, you know, needless to say, I'm a low-level stoner, and I was not ready for this fucking dab.
It's a lot of fun. I like to do it.
It was fun. It was scary. It was an experience. I really hit a fucking big one.
You were having heart palpitations, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, as soon as I hit it, like immediately, I was fucked.
Yeah. Your heart races. You
yeah.
feel like all the blood is draining from your face and your scalp.
Well, what happened is
cold.
that I just immediately. No, it wasn't like that. I just immediately stood up and I was like, "Oh shit, that was a lot." Coughing, like, running upstairs to get water, coughing, and then like the high hits me, and I'm just all of a sudden like, whoom, like in a different kind of atmosphere, different kind of vibe. Completely disoriented, very confused, very scared.
I was having a beer and talking with someone downstairs, and I wanted to go upstairs and see what you were up to because I haven't seen you in like 5-10 minutes. I didn't even know you took a dab. So I walk upstairs and I see you're on the couch with your headphones on, and you're just sitting there like melting. You're like back, like sunken into the couch and just like looking dead straight ahead. Yeah. And I'm like, "Hey Cam, like what's going on? How are you?" And you're just like, "I'm fucked. I'm fucked."
Well, I started by trying to like have conversation and talk to Lauren and stuff, and then I quickly realized that I was in no state to do that. No. And I just put my noise canceling headphones on. I put on a relaxing Animal Crossing soundtrack playlist, which is very like mellow background music, and I just turned it up, and I just kind of, after I did that, honestly, I was fine. Like the anxiety went away because I was just like, oh, I'm just high.
Yeah, but you go, dude, like I just took a dab, like I'm fucked. Like you should take one too. And I was like, no. I go, because I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson after the last dab I took. Ryan fed me a giant monster of a dab, and I coughed for about 25 minutes, and my tongue wouldn't stop salivating. Like it was just buckets of fucking saliva building up my mouth.
Right.
And I didn't want to swallow it because my throat hurt too much. And so I just kept, I went into the bathroom and just spat in the sink for like 10 or 15 minutes until like I finally recovered. I was probably just stoned. If I had just fucking swallowed like a normal person.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so weird how you're like when you get fucked, like sometimes you can imagine yourself having medical problems that you don't have.
Oh yeah, you get
like,
hypochondriac. Yeah.
Yeah, like I take like supplements sometimes before bed, and I was on edibles one time and I swallowed this pill, which I always take before bed. Never a problem. It's not a big pill. And for some reason, the edibles made me feel like I had it lodged in my throat. Oh. And like whenever I swallowed, it was like hurting. Obviously, it wasn't the case. Like I knew that. I was like feeling. I was like, is this, what the fuck is that? It just wasn't.
Right.
Just completely imagining it.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. We sound like crack addicts.
I'm trying to lay off the concentrate. I told my mom and dad, like, I go, oh yeah, they're like, what did you get up to this week? I go, oh, I made dabs, and I explained to him, my dad and my mom separately in different calls, the process.
Well, they're people of science that appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. And my mom's like, that's very interesting, sweetie. That's very interesting. Okay, that's interesting. And I was like, yeah. And so I get off the phone with her, and like 2 hours later, I get a text from her. She goes, hey, honey, I was thinking about that that wax thing that you said with the weed wax. You should probably just stick to joints. And I go, yeah, it's very true. I go, I'm a professional, but that's probably a good call, Mom. And my dad just goes, are you fucking crazy? Why don't you just smoke pot like a normal person?
Yeah.
Why do you have to go this extra mile? And I was like, yeah, you're right. It's just for the fucking fun of it. Like, I'm going to take a dab.
It's a rare occasional thing.
Yeah, it's really just if you want to, for someone's birthday, or, if you released a video, or if you took your 1,000th step that day, a little celebratory dab.
Toby, do we have anything else we need to talk about in terms of our obligations?
We are going to MEO this weekend.
Yeah,
Guys,
MEO this weekend. If you want to see us, fucking come see us.
Yeah, MEO. It's gonna be dope.
It's the Melbourne Esports Open.
I believe 3:00 Saturday is when our meet and greet is.
You should check our Twitter.
Yeah,
Misfits on Twitter. You can check it out.
Either way, the Melbourne Esports Open. We did it last year. It was a great time.
Oh, it was
We're
super
back
good.
again.
We're back
it's
again.
Gonna be good.
It's going to be awesome.
And also, just to get it out of the way, guys, we are dropping new merch.
Look at this.
It's probably already out by the time.
It will be out.
It's
It
out.
comes out tomorrow for us.
Out.
Right. So it's out by the time this podcast is out. I don't know how quickly it's going to sell out, but go to Misfits.store. Check if it's still available if you want some. It's like, it's Misfits merch. It's dope. It's very comfy. I think it's actually our most comfortable merch ever. Right?
We've got good blanks for these.
It's really good.
It's good.
Yeah.
I've been wearing it nonstop. Like, it's such a good thing to wear around the house.
It just feels
Very
super high
cozy.
quality.
Kept me warm while I was in that fucking fountain. Fuck that. Fuck that shoot. That goddamn fountain.
Oh, yeah. Well, the video will be out.
The
so we can
video
talk
will be
about
out.
it.
We can talk
about
about
that.
it.
Toby, what did you think of our little shoot?
I thought it was awesome. All right.
Yeah.
So
Explain what we did.
let me set some scenes here. So we go downstairs to drive to this fountain that none of us had actually. Well, Swagger had been to.
Yeah, I can talk a bit before.
Yeah,
Like,
go for
the
it.
whole planning and shit. So since we were doing an intro, there was a parody of the Friends intro. We needed to look for a fountain to go to. So either the option was we go to the Melbourne Exhibition Center, Royal Exhibition Center, and use that giant fucking fuck-off fountain, or we go to some other local fountain that was, closer and easier. And we ended up settling for the second one because, access, because we had to bring a fucking giant leather couch.
Yeah.
Out there and
lights and stuff.
lights, and we had to get a heated van because we were going to go in this fucking fountain
At night.
At night. So we staked out the second one. It was probably about 2 hours of us scouting around and walking from fountain to fountain. And when we got to the second one, we were just looking around. We're like, oh, it's lit. Like, the lights are awesome. It's right. You can see the city's right behind it. It's going to be perfect for shooting. There's lights. This is the one. This is the one we should do. And so Ryan goes, hey, Swagger, odds on to get in the fountain. And I go, I'll do out of 10. Because, I felt lucky. I go, what are the odds? Out of 10, sure. 3, 2, 1. We both said 8. And so I was like, Jesus Christ. And everyone was like, you got to go in. You got to go in. It's odds on. You have to fucking go in. And I feel it with my hands, dude. And it's fucking freezing. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I fucking start taking all my clothes off.
You had to get like fully immersed in it?
No, I took my pants off. I was in my underwear, no socks or anything. And but I still had like my hoodie and shit on. It was still cold. I didn't want to get fucking naked in public and jump in a fucking dirty fountain. So I climb into the fountain just with my underwear, and I'm like, I'm fucking shaking. It's up to my knees. I'm shaking, and Ryan's like, come on, then, like, get in, probably get in. I go, I'm going to go waist deep, like, and that's it, okay? I'm only going to go waist deep and submerge myself. And he's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Like, you're in the fucking fountain, it's fine. And I was like, okay. I just dip in, dude. As soon as my fucking nutsack touched the goddamn water, dude, I just shot back up, jumped out, and then just I think it was our friend Jordan gave me his hoodie just to like dry myself off, and I put my pants back on, and then went into the Uber, and then we went home.
I'm imagining you like literally howling and like going up in the air like a cartoon.
No,
way up in the air.
It was more like a fuck, and then a jolt out, and then fucking running, skipping away.
So
and then
what is it about the ball sack that does not appreciate cold water? What is that? Let's talk.
But it was, but so that was my experience, and that was a day before the shoot. So I knew, like, okay, I already went to the fountain. I understand how cold it is. This is really going to fucking suck. And so, next day rolls around, and, I guess you could pick up.
So Ryan, he knew that we were going to be in the fountain. We were going to be cold as shit. So he organized like a driver for us who took us in a van and sat around waiting with towels and, air conditioning and stuff. But it was so funny. We pull up to this park in this blacked out van, and behind us is a truck that the boys had rented so that we could transport this couch to the fountain.
Yeah.
And we all get out. We're setting up lights and stuff. The truck turns up, and they back up onto the footpath and or sidewalk if you're American. They just back up. So there's this truck with a couch being loaded out of it beside a fountain, and we had lights and everything set up. It just
looked very professional.
It looked like an actual production. It was really cool.
And we checked and made sure that we were actually technically allowed to do that, because a lot of shit when it comes to filming, at least in the U.S., you have to get a lot of licensing and permits and all that shit. But since it was a public area, I think we had the we had the go ahead. It wasn't it wasn't illegal. As long as we weren't destroying anything, which we weren't, and just going into a dirty fountain. It was pretty standard.
We were fine.
Yeah, it was absolutely within the boundaries of the law.
Good to know Captain America. Go on, Toby.
So for the next, for the first, like, to be honest, it was probably an hour or two that we were there. We were just in the dry. We were shooting stuff on the couch and doing little dances and shit, little poses. And then it came time, and everyone was like, "All right, it's time to get in the fountain. We've filmed all the dry stuff we can. It's time to actually get wet." So for anyone who hasn't seen the Friends theme, it's basically there's a couch in front of a fountain, and they're dancing around a couch, moving around a couch, and then all of a sudden they're in the fountain, like splashing each other and being friends.
Yeah.
That was what we were about to recreate. So everyone kind of stood there, like ready to get in the fountain.
It was very plaintive. Everyone was very. Not hyped. No one was very hyped.
I mean, the energy was pretty good. I mean, no one was like dying to jump in.
I know
everyone was down. Everyone was like on board.
I was not down at all because I had gone in the night before and I knew how much it fucking sucked.
It wasn't warmer this night?
No,
it wasn't that bad.
Well, I figured, okay, I went in last time and it was fucking really cold. Maybe that was because I was in my underwear, and since I'm going in with my fucking skinny jeans, it won't be that cold.
Bad idea.
I go in, dude. We all jump in, and I'm in for maybe like 25 seconds before it starts. Like, it's soaked into my jeans, and it's just my legs are warm, but my jeans are soaked in like 40 degrees Fahrenheit water, and it's fucking biting my legs, and it hurts. I had to jump out so I could take my pants off.
We were all standing in this. Sam and Mitchell were filming us, and we were just splashing each other and trying to get the shot as fast as we could. And then all of a sudden, Swag goes, "Nope, I got to get out." And we didn't realize that it was to take off his pants. We thought that he was just "Nope, I can't film this." And we were like, "What?"
Yeah, I jumped out, and I'm taking my pants off, and they're all screaming at me, "Get back in! Get back in!" I'm like, I am, and I'm fucking undoing my belt. I'm shaking. I get back in my underwear, and then it was fine. It didn't hurt as much the second time. It was way more manageable just having bare legs in there. But my legs, my legs were still fucking red by the time I got out.
Jeans and it was fine for me.
It fucking sucked for me. I don't know.
Scottish blood,
Probably.
I was born in the
I'm
cold.
Italian, but I'm used to a Mediterranean climate genetically.
Before the shoot, we were like, "Oh, we got to have a bit where like Fitz dunk Swagger," but we didn't think about the fact that you can't really dunk Swagger while he's wearing a helmet
because I will drown.
Not a good idea. So
worth the risk.
We were in the water, and they were like, "All right, now dunk him," and then we're like, "No, I mean Swagger can't be dunked." So we're just like, "All right, I'll fucking let Fitz dunk me, sure, whatever." Fitz just grabs me, slams me under the water.
I said something to you before I did. I was like, are you sure about this? And you were like,
It was literally like a Russian Orthodox baptism where they just fucking take the baby and just
so
right into the wire.
And all for like a half a second shot in the video of like,
I was under there for a few seconds, but it's barely.
It was funny. It was funny because Mitchell's filming. He's like, "All right, dunk him," and then you dunk him, and he's under there for like 3 seconds, and Mitchell's like, "No, it's gonna be like quick cut. It doesn't have to be that long." You're like, "Bring it back up," and you're like, "Okay," and then you come back up, and you're just like,
just making sure,
Once my head was under, it was like I could be in there for hours.
Really?
I was
Sadist.
like, no. You know how when like half of your body's wet in a cold pool,
it's the worst.
it feels so much worse than when your whole body's wet.
Yeah, because your whole body adjusts.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fucking shoot at the end of the day was pretty good. It was a hard day's work, and I think
wholesome.
it played. Yeah, I think it paid off really well. We had pretty much everyone
Well,
there.
it's on
Matt,
Twitter.
Matt in the background.
Yeah, it's on Twitter.
If you haven't seen it,
all for a Twitter video. I jinxed it. I said like as we were leaving, like none of that footage like better be corrupted. Like please don't let any of the footage corrupt. And apparently,
2 of the 3 cameras.
really, it was that much.
yeah.
I think it was 2 of the 3 cameras.
So
like-
what happened is the video is fine. Video is totally fine.
It's fine, but it's not as good as it could have been. I feel.
It's choppy. The video is choppy.
Oh, is the video choppy?
Yeah, it like pauses and stutters.
Does
and
it? I didn't notice that.
Yeah, Mitchell showed me some of the footage that was fucked up.
We're talking about the actual video itself. Like you don't notice that in the actual promo vid, right?
Well, there was 3 different angles, but I think it was all from like a main camera. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I'm saying that like in the actual video, the completed version,
there's
there's not stopping and starting.
No.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That was the corrupted footage.
Yeah. So unfortunately, there was a lot of footage that probably would have made the video funnier.
Yeah,
But,
and stuff.
got
Wait,
lost.
so there was footage that didn't work.
Yeah.
I thought the only problem they had was that there was no audio.
Well, that as well.
Well, no, I mean the audio we don't need because we're just putting music over it. Right?
Yeah, but we're going to use it on Patreon.
Oh well. I
Yeah.
mean, what's lost is lost. It's my bad for jinxing it. It's my bad for jinxing
It's all right.
it.
It was an error. I think it was somebody plugged in the microphone on the camera into the headphone slot instead of the mic slot, and that's what fucked it up. And that was for 2 of the cameras. So we'll just make sure never to do that again, and shouldn't be an issue. Just make sure that's double checked
That
before
wouldn't
we start
corrupt the
filming.
videos, though.
I don't know.
Who knows what
Ask them.
happened?
It's all right.
I'm
Fuck it, whatever.
convinced that as a group we are just cursed in every way, and that
To a pretty decent degree.
yeah, it's surprising we're doing so well despite our cursed nature. Like it really is a goddamn miracle. I just remembered we should bring something else up. I mean, they're not here, Jay or Mason.
Oh, yeah.
But their U2s, I believe, are dropping this weekend as well. They're probably out by the time this podcast comes out. So if you want to grab a U2s for McCreamy or for Zuckles, they're actually really fucking
Look at
sick.
that.
If you got our ones earlier and you're into collecting
how good
them,
they are.
yeah, like if you bought one, like one of mine or Swagger's or Toby's, you will know how quality these things are, and the boxes and everything is just so sick. So if you're into collecting those, then go to youtubes.com and grab little Zuckles.
And if
Jay.
you're a reselling asshole, you should buy them because there's been people someone offered $200 to buy mine. They like
Yeah, it was
people are paying a lot to get
it was
them.
like $300 for a completed set.
I think
that's just the 3 of us.
$500 for us 3.
Fucking
Someone
hell.
offered that.
Remind me to buy half my stock next
Yeah.
time. You just
Just look at this, dude. Look at that.
Glorious.
audio listeners, take a good look at that.
Oh yeah.
Well, by the way, I just want to bring this up. Audio listeners, I do love you. I love you deeply. I feel like we've got off on the wrong foot, and I just want to apologize to our audio listeners. I take a couple shots at them sometimes.
Can you explain to the audio listeners why we don't have SoundCloud?
Oh, true. I keep meaning to bring that up.
I get this question like every day on stream, and I genuinely don't know the answer.
Here's the thing about SoundCloud is that we used to post to SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes, but with YouTube, we really kind of just felt like SoundCloud became obsolete. A lot of people are going to be like, but I can't. I don't have YouTube Red, and I can't listen to it in my pocket, and I want it on an app. But
Use Spotify.
I mean, some people say they can't afford Spotify Premium, and
You don't need
get
Spotify
ads.
Premium for podcasts.
Okay, we'll get Spotify. There's also a bunch of apps. Like there's this one called Pocket Casts for Android, which I use, which is like it basically just takes it from shut the fuck up. It takes it from Podbean, which is like the host, and it just puts it on there. It's all free. Like there's a million free ways to listen to the podcast that isn't SoundCloud. SoundCloud was always one of the least like effective platforms to listen on. So that's why.
SoundCloud's getting shut down, I think.
Really?
I don't think so.
No, so apparently like they aren't making any money or something.
I guess you could see that happening.
Yeah.
I did hear something about that actually.
Yeah, because and a bunch of some bigger rappers were talking about the fact that like a bunch of smaller rappers are coming up on there, and it's a great way for big rappers to find the new rappers and stuff.
Oh, I thought it was Mitchell. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my God.
Let me fill you in on what happened just now.
Oh no.
So Swagger, Toby's dad is visiting from New Zealand. He's in the office.
You want to come over here? Say hi on the podcast, Mr. Lyons?
He's currently off camera. Oh, he's coming on. He's coming on the
Talk to
show.
the camera.
Hey.
The cat monitor's there.
They can see your torso. There you go.
Hi guys.
He's visiting, and he decided to take a photo during the podcast. Clearly, very proud of his son Toby.
And I just flipped him off because I thought it was Mitchell taking a cheeky picture for Instagram or something. I'm so sorry, Mr. Lyons.
Literally just flipped off Toby's
Oh my
father.
God.
Wow. What a legendary moment.
Awesome.
All right, what were we talking about?
I forgot.
We were just talking about SoundCloud shutting down. You were saying something about big rappers.
Yeah. A lot of rappers were tweeting about it, being disappointed that it's being shut down. Actually, I think maybe the reason I know about it is because maybe a big rapper bought it out or something.
Yeah, this has happened
keep it
before.
afloat.
This has happened before, where they were about to shut down, and then was it Tyler the Creator that did it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That went in and I don't fucking know. It was
Someone
years ago.
vouched for
it was
SoundCloud,
years ago,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And they kept it afloat for a while. Maybe it's shutting down again. I'm not too sure.
Well, I hope it stays live as a platform because it is a great platform for music, especially.
Yeah, for people to get off the ground. 100%.
100%. I just don't think it's the best for podcasts.
No.
And there's so many other better platforms to use. Like, why would you bother?
Yeah.
So that's why. I mean, there's just no point putting a podcast on that many platforms. It just kind of diminishes the overall value of the show.
Yeah. Speaking of podcasts, what happened pretty recently, a couple of days ago, if I could just go ahead and pull this up. So there's this guy, his name is Jordan Peterson, right? Jordan B. Peterson.
What does he do, Swagger?
He's I believe a clinical psychologist. He was a professor.
Mm-hmm.
What was the college that he used to
He's
speak at?
from Toronto, I think. I don't know what one it was. But yeah, I mean, he's this like clinical psychologist. He did a lot of lectures and he became very internet famous for like, well, half of it was for his politics and half of it was for, I think his kind of like advice, I suppose.
Is he the like really anti-religion guy?
No.
He's actually pretty pro-religion, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well, what he does is he goes into religious topics and then pulls out like psychological meanings behind it.
Okay.
He has this whole, like lecture called Maps of Meaning, which was a pretty good lecture. He's on a bunch of podcasts. The guy's an academic and, he's very interesting but controversial.
He's controversial because... I guess because of his politics.
Probably
which is
politics.
Which is probably the least interesting side of him, to be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So he said, someone sent me this clip, and I showed everybody, and, here, I'll play it for the audio listeners.
You see, there's just something bloody bewildering about people playing video games on YouTube. I came across this character recently that wore a helmet and was just obsessed with drugs. It's just
so
mind-boggling, to say the least.
Isn't that wild?
So funny.
Now,
It's so funny. This is an esteemed, old school academic.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much a celebrity now, right? I mean, he's very mainstream, I guess. Best-selling author.
It's really crazy, that he's like, it's just mind-boggling, right?
Just mind-boggling.
You know what else is mind-boggling?
What's that?
This was a deep fake that I made myself.
Really?
Yeah.
I said it was a deep fake when he posted it.
He never said that.
Well, what's funny is that that's crazy. That was
Isn't
actually
it?
deep fake.
That is a deep fake that I made.
Okay. Well, Toby immediately, and it was Hurley as well.
Yeah.
In the when you posted on our Discord was like, I thought that might be a deep fake.
It's because there's little bits in
just
it that
little
you can
bits.
tell. Yeah.
The reason I didn't believe it was because you'd said that people have been tweeting you all day about it. And I was like,
just a lie.
this must mean that it's from his podcast.
Right.
That's very funny.
Yeah. Well, and I wanted to do that because I had seen it was going around Twitter. People were using the website where I went on and did that. It's literally called notjordanpeterson.com, and you can write anything.
Did you write that whole script?
I wrote the whole script.
Because it sounds just like how he talks.
Just like how he
That's
talks. So I know I've listened to him, a bunch before, so I understand like the mannerisms and how he speaks and all that. So it's very easy to write something that he might say.
Wow.
So I wrote that out, and I was like, this is fucking really convincing. And I was like, I'll see, if I can get people to believe it. And I managed to get pretty much everyone to believe it. Everyone who I told.
You didn't tweet anything public about it?
No, because I don't want to spread the misinformation.
Sure.
I don't want it to actually blow up. I just wanted to keep it confined. And the one thing I was worried about, that the podcast was delayed for 2 days, and I did it like that morning to do it for the podcast. It was like, I hope this lie doesn't blow up or do anything stupid because, I was trying to make a point with, that's fucked.
That's pretty fucked.
That's really fucked.
Because that sounded like...
1-to-1, yeah, pretty much.
I think that even if you didn't say that you were receiving tweets all day about it, I probably still would have believed it.
Yeah, but...
Although I might have been more tempted to check for myself in the podcast or
it's
whatever it was.
Like around the beginning, you can hear that the voice doesn't sound quite like an actual voice. Like it does sound a little robotic, but the rest of it sounds flawless.
It's wild.
Isn't it?
That's so fucking crazy.
And I was thinking like, it's so weird because, anyone can make him say anything now. Yeah. And, a lot of people, you can just make a tweet and be like, oh, look what he just said. And then it could be outrageous. How do you disprove something that's so convincing? And what are the implications of that if it's your voice or, or mine?
I guess the people that are most at risk of being subject to this
public figures
are people who speak all the time on podcasts.
Yeah.
I know that Rogan has like some very convincing deepfakes.
Oh, yeah, extremely.
Jesus.
And
it's all audio.
The visual deepfakes as well. A bunch of that, Corridor Digital.
Oh yeah.
They did a video recently where they got an actor who looked a tiny bit like Keanu Reeves. Yeah. And they deepfaked Keanu Reeves' face onto him, and they shot a video with him, and they titled it, we made a video with Keanu Reeves. And the video was obviously it was clearly meant to be a joke, but
it was a Keanu Reeves
convinced people.
Stops a robbery or something.
Yeah.
What did they mention? It was a deepfake later.
I think they mentioned at the end. Yeah. They weren't trying to
deceive
anyone. They were just trying to show how crazy deepfakes can be.
Yeah,
they also did it with
VFX
Tom
artists.
Cruise. They did one with Tom Cruise that seems perfect.
It's wild, man.
It's fucking scary. Because what's the implication that could come from that? I mean, dude, fake news would be fun. You can make the president say anything.
Yeah.
You release a video that could go viral on Twitter where it's fucking President Trump, saying
Imagine if President Trump said something controversial. That'd be crazy.
Or so out of character as well.
More so like if he said something like, we're sending nukes to North Korea.
Yeah.
You can start a war.
That's the thing is that there's so many knee-jerk reactions online these days that all it takes is 24 hours of misinformation on that level before it's actually informed the masses that, that was a deepfake, by the way.
Yeah.
It only takes 12, 24 hours for drastic consequences to come from that.
Yeah, and also, I mean, a lot more people will see something crazy than the proof that it's fake. So many people just believe stuff and never end up seeing this is why this is fake.
Well, that's the thing. It's big news if someone's falsely accused of something and then everyone just jumps on the hate bandwagon and then, say a week later, it's like, oh, he's innocent. Nobody, it's going to take a lot harder to spread that word of truth than it is to, to clear someone's name than it is to just tear someone down.
Yeah.
That's the
Negative
implications.
sticks.
The implication between just deep fakes and just the whole thing with deep fake vocalizations, it's fucked. It's just fucked.
Yeah, it takes it takes something that's been used a lot recently of your fake Discord messages, your fake texts, your fake whatever. It takes that and is like, nah, fuck this, let's just make it 10 times more believable.
Yeah. Well,
I wonder if let's say someone takes a really early episode of the Misfits podcast, deep fakes me saying something that's semi-believable, but that I definitely did not say, that I wouldn't want to say, and then they use that against me. I wonder if you could actually convince me or anyone who's in a position that I actually said it, maybe second guess myself. Did I say that? That sounds like me. Did I actually say that?
That's the really funky thing. And even then, another implication is, what if someone actually does do something really fucked up or something really bad, and then they go, hey, that wasn't me, that was a deep fake.
Yeah.
Someone just deep faked that. I would never say
bluff.
that.
Wow.
then what's even the truth? What's reality?
Yeah, well, I mean, even without deepfakes, even just with like controversial news blowing up with anyone, a public figure or something in the news, there's so many times in recent memory where people have knee-jerked into an outrage reaction and been proven wrong a day or a week later.
Mm-hmm.
And it's happened so many times that like now I'm just pretty much, when I read something, I'm always like, I'll see where this goes.
Yeah.
There's no point like jumping on it until you know more.
It's always how it is.
Yeah.
It's just, children just do that. Teenagers will fucking do that.
But at the same time, like I wonder if without that, like maybe it's a human thing where people just get outraged quickly and they spread it on social media. Like if everyone was just completely cautious about it and they always waited for the truth, would we ever even hear about controversial things anymore?
That's true.
Like that's the other side of the coin, I guess. It's like
the biggest problem with it is that the thing of if you get accused of being something really bad once, it doesn't matter how much you get proved correct. It's like if someone gets accused of being
a rapist,
like a rapist, right? Even if you read, it was all a lie, it's still like the first thing you think of when you think of that person.
And it's the first thing that shows up on Google when you type in that person's name. Is that person's name rape?
Yeah, and there'll be like a bunch of people who, even after the news breaks that it was fake, still believe it and still associate that name with it. And like 5 years down the line, you might be at a dinner party and people will point and be like, isn't that guy who did the rape thing?
Yeah.
And that's bad. That's fucked up.
Really fucked up.
That's some fucked up shit. Okay, so in other news, guys, I'm quitting my job as an influencer and I'm living under a rock.
Troglodyte, dude.
Pretty psyched over
Hell
that.
yeah.
Pretty psyched. It's going to be lit. I got my video games. I got my Xbox. I got my Doritos.
Mountain Dew. Your gamer subs.
My gamer subs.
Your gamer subs. Fuck subs. Mountain Dew.
Fuck Mountain Dew. Cheers to that.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Should we do the Patreon Q&A?
Yeah. That's crazy, though, that you did that deep fake. I'm very glad that you punked us.
Yeah, well, I figured
I like this much better than it being real.
Yeah, I figured that would be the best way to get the point across. If I was able to convince all of you, and I mean all of you, I convinced everybody in the group.
Yeah,
and I told Mitchell and Chris and Manuel, Chris's brother, because they were like really hyped. They were like, "Oh, we should tweet about it." I was like, "No, here." And I told them, and they were like, "Dude, no way, that's fucking insane." It was just the best way to fucking get the point that, it's so easy to do. All I had to do was just type it in.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And Jordan Peterson, if you want to come on and defend yourself, get us like 5 million views or something. Come on. It'll be fun.
You're welcome.
I want to start the Patreon Q&A by saying, Patreon, fucking step it up, please.
Patreon, step it up. More better questions.
Your questions have been so trashed here that Lauren herself had to submit a question this week because we couldn't find two that were good.
Really?
So
the problem with these questions is that, eventually they're just going to be the same thing because there's only so many things you can ask us. But anyway, here's wait, so you're saying that these are fake questions?
No.
One of them's real, the other one's
real.
Lauren.
The second one is from Lauren, who's
I see.
One that says laws.
Well, the first one is called is from Hypercunt.
Underscore Hypercunt. And the C in cunt is changed to a K.
Very important.
So it's like
Hypercunt. He says, or she says, what are your favorite artists or bands?
Would you like to start?
No.
Okay.
I always just listen to my Spotify Discovery weekly.
Really? Mm-hmm. You never do you make playlists?
I have like 4 or 5 playlists that I'll put on when I'm streaming, but a lot of the time I'll listen to that, and then when I want something new, I'll just put on my Discovery playlist, and I never know what the music is in my Discovery playlist. I just listen to it and I'm like, that's kind of good.
I have a wide selection of bands and artists that I listen to regularly.
Sure.
I mean, I'm into, there's Tycho, there's Chan, Polyphia, Covet, fucking Baby No Money, Y2K, Ghostmane, I have a really big selection. I go back to Yes or to Rush or, anything progressive, anything math rock.
Anything kind of complicated, I suppose. You like complicated.
American football is good,
Is that a...
It's a emo band.
It's
a sport.
Explain the genres for people who might not understand these artists right from the bat. What kind of genres is that?
Shit, dude.
It's a wide range.
Yeah, it's like... so Tycho would be, I guess, electronic music, but almost more ambient. Mm-hmm. Chan, Covet, Polyphia, I'd go for and that'd probably be in the realm of progressive rock. So
Prog
progressive
rock.
rock, prog rock, fucking math rock. That's a big, buzzword. I'm sure, a lot of bands I listen to that I think are math rock probably aren't. But it's just, changing time signatures, truncated drum fills, all that fucking cool, snazzy shit that makes me go like, oh, this is interesting and not boring.
Right.
It's not in 4/4, it's in fucking 8/16 and then going to fucking, 8/11 or, anything with a polyrhythm. Been listening to Tool, a lot of new Tool stuff since they came out with their new song. Lauren, who submitted the second question, so into Tool. She fucking went crazy when...
I've seen Tool live.
Have you?
Yeah, Tool's really funny live because the lead singer hasn't revealed what he looks like.
What, Maynard?
Sounds familiar.
Well, okay, no.
Are you sure?
Maybe he's revealed what he looks like, but he doesn't like being famous. So he was behind the drummer and there was no spotlight on him.
Really?
So there was the guitarist, the drummer, and the bassist or whatever. I don't remember.
Does that kind of ruin the vibe?
It was weird. But also, it was a Tool concert, so the entire stadium was hotboxed.
Right.
So, I mean, who cares?
Yeah, I hear that they don't like playing live shows because a lot of the fun in the music or like a lot of the meaning in the music isn't properly like consumed by the people because everyone's just fucked up at the show and screaming and I think if I recall correctly in an interview they were like we like it when we'd rather everyone be in silence and just listen to the music and thoroughly enjoy it and then applaud afterwards. But
that's what the album's for.
Yeah,
that's what you do in your house. You go to the concert for the vibe of being in a crowd. Sure.
I'm sure.
The purpose.
But it's just I think their opinion. I could be completely wrong, but that's just what I've heard.
I hope it was Tool that I was thinking of.
She was.
But I'm like pretty sure. Yeah.
But yeah, Lauren was fucking super hyped when Fear Inoculum, their newest single, came out because they haven't released an album in like 13 years. So. They're releasing their new album like August 30th. So I'm super hyped.
Cool.
Can't wait to listen to it.
Me myself, I listen to like a lot of shit, but I mean mostly hip hop is probably the main genre.
That Brockhampton guy, I like Brockhampton. He's a fucking good artist.
I like Brockhampton. I was really into Brockhampton during their Saturation era, which was a couple years ago now, where they dropped 3 albums in 1 year, and they were just consistently so fucking good. Like such great hip hop music, like the best. And then they had a kind of bit of a falling out as a band. Like one of the members had to leave, and ever since then the hype's kind of been a little low.
One of Brockhampton's multiple personalities had to leave.
That's right. Yeah. But no, they just dropped a new album, and I've been listening to it, and it's it's pretty good. It's not quite like the good old days, but it's still pretty good. Love Denzel Curry. I'm just kind of looking through my playlist.
I thought Denzel Curry was a basketball player.
No, that's Steph Curry.
That's it.
Gold Link is dope. Just dropped a new album recently as well. Very cool. Very cool. Injury Reserve, lesser known, but very, very sick as well. Young Lean.
Lean?
I mean, Young Lean has some bangers.
You know what band I really like? Written by Wolves.
That's your brother's band.
That's my brother's band. They're on Spotify. Check them out. Also, check out Boy Scout Gatsby. He's pretty fun.
Boy Scout Gatsby.
I mean, but I don't just listen to hip hop. Obviously, I've been listening to a lot of Pink Floyd recently. Actually,
hell yeah! What Dark Side of the Moon to the Wall?
Mostly Dark Side of the Moon. Just such a fucking sick album.
Yep.
Listen to a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers as well, which throws me back.
No shit.
They're good. Yeah, I mean that's kind of that.
All right. Well, I guess on to the next question. This one is by Laz or Lauren, who works
top tier
for
on
us.
Patreon, I hear.
Yeah. Do you have any hidden talents or anything out of the ordinary that you're good at? I can make the Perry the Platypus noise.
It's actually pretty good.
It's like Predator.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like
Or the
Predator
Predator
noise.
noise is really
They're
the
both
same
pretty
shit.
similar, yeah.
Secret talents. Like I'm really funny.
I can crack my neck. I can...
No one knows it. Yeah, I can click like almost any bone in my body. I can click my toes.
Even your scalp?
Can click your dick.
I can click my ears. You want to listen?
I can move my ears.
Wait,
Let me see if I.
You can
this
make your
works.
ears
Wait.
click?
Oh!
It's not my ear. It's like the base of it.
It's
like
the cartilage.
The cartilage.
That's
Can you
gross.
move
My something about my genetics. Are you revealing your ear right now?
Yeah, I can move it.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but it's under a balaclava.
where you like your
see
whole
it?
head moves though, right? This is really great for the audio listeners. They love this. No, everyone just cringed when they heard my ear click. Probably.
That's gross.
No, but my bones just click. Like I have maybe it's just because I'm so like tall and fucking disjointed. But,
Ask Dad. He's a radiologist.
Like
Oh.
I get like the gas buildup, and then I feel like I have to click them. I've been clicking since I was.
You know,
like a kid.
it's not a gas buildup. It's a lack of gas. When you crack your bones, you're actually creating air pockets within the joints.
Right. Why does that start? Do you know? Do you know like why some people have it and some don't?
What, the ability to crack your fingers? I'm not sure. It's probably genetic.
Let's get him on.
I know.
Your dad?
No.
Yeah. I know there's some bullshit people say if you crack your knuckles, then you'll develop arthritis in your hands. That is bullshit. Some guy did a 50-year study on himself where he cracked only one hand for his entire, 50-year stint, and just to see if his left hand would be worse than his right. And no, they were exactly the fucking same.
Okay, but there are people who smoke their entire lives and don't get lung cancer.
Yeah, it's not exactly like a foolproof, experiment, but
yeah, but
he might just be not prone to arthritis.
Yeah, well, it's just that arthritis isn't caused by gas buildup in between your joints.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe it is either, but that isn't a definitive experiment.
No,
it's not like sound, but it's pretty. I guess it proves the point. But yeah, I mean, I've heard that as long as when you click it doesn't hurt, you're pretty much in the clear.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so I click like a lot, especially my back. Like when I wake up, I kind of roll my spine and go.
Yep, same here.
Love that shit. Feels so good. It's like.
Well, it's my favorite part about fucking going to school is, hey, if you're listening to this podcast in class, firstly, make sure you're paying attention. Secondly, if you have one of those fucking desks that like the fucking head of the chair behind you is like right at your back, just grab the desk with your hands and then just push your back and just crack the bottom half of your back on your desk. I did that every day.
Timmy just broke his back.
Yeah.
Timmy's he's going to the infirmary. They're wheeling him off right now.
Hey, man, I got you out of class. Congrats.
He's listening to us on the stretcher right now.
He's just paralyzed.
He can't walk for
walk
the rest
ever.
of his life, and it's all your fault.
Hey, man, I mean, at least
he can't even tweet you because he's like can't use his hands.
Hey, at least he gets you just go to Disney World and get VIP. Just get wheeled right to the front.
Is that how it works?
That was a fucked up person.
Yeah, I think so.
The perks of being Stephen Hawking. Anyway. I'm not going to bring him up again.
I don't think I have
after last time.
No.
What was the
Everyone
question?
thought that was very funny.
Hidden talents or anything out of the ordinary that you're good at.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, clicking isn't really a talent, I guess. I mean, I play guitar. I've been playing, I haven't been like learning. I kind of play very casually now for the last 5 years, but I guess I've been playing for like 12 years guitar.
I'm kind of good at photography.
Yeah.
I like to paint, draw.
Ooh.
I've been fucking around with Rish's iPad for like the last
Yeah, you're good.
2 weeks. I like to, fuck around, dude. I mean, he gave me his iPad. He has this filter on top of it, like a screen filter that makes it feel like paper. So, like, I'm fucking enjoying it. He had his notes open, and there was like a pencil thing. So I was just drawing in like the actual like Apple Notes, and I drew a picture. I retweeted it on my Twitter, and then I think the next day I come in, he goes, "Hey, like I have Procreate on this thing." I'm like, "What's Procreate?" And it was this program, for actual artists that want to draw. It has all these brushes. It's
crazy.
It's practically Photoshop except for an iPad, and you're actually drawing on it like it's paper.
I thought
and
Procreate was sex. No?
Yeah, we get it, Fitz. Fuck off.
You get it,
No, guys.
We're talking about drawing here.
Just me, only me sex. Go on, sorry.
But it was I'm just fucking around with this thing, and I must have drawn like 4 or 5 or 6 like different little paintings, different little drawings, and I just have a blast just getting fucking cooked.
You're good.
And
You're
giving
good.
it a try.
You got talent.
I want to do some art streams. I think at some point.
Do it.
Get get the iPad and see if I can mirror it, or better yet, get a Cintiq.
You can.
And just fuck around in Photoshop.
Speaking of the Cintiq, I have an iPad Pro, which is what you've been using. I have a Cintiq, and I have a Intuos drawing tablet. Apple Pencil is by far the best stylus I've ever used.
Really?
Agreed.
It is the most natural feeling because it's really thin like a pencil, and it sketches like a pencil. It's like
The
Apple
pressure and everything.
It's the first stylus Apple's made, as far as I know, and it is like insane. It is so good. Yeah.
I'm trash at art.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I never really like given it a good crack. Like I always give up. But like I've never been a drawer.
I just decided one day that I was gonna get a drawing tablet and try drawing on stream.
I remember, yeah.
And I just did a creative stream. The drawings were terrible, And then, people would ask for more drawing streams, and I'd do them like once every few weeks or so. And through that, you can like see the progression in my art. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's nothing crazy. It's just little cartoon things, but it's. I just decided I wanted to do it.
Yeah, well, as with anything, like some people have obviously raw talent, but if you work hard enough at anything, you can get really fucking good.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just really
all
good
technique.
to having a creative outlet is good.
Music's always been that for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
I dip my toes into music, but I think I'm at a point now where I can't be fucked. Unless it was like a collaborative project with somebody else, I don't think I would do it. I was fucking around with FL Studio, but I just haven't had the drive to go back in and finish an album or even a song. So,
It's just fun to take.
yeah, it's fun to dip your feet in just to a different hobby to see if you'll enjoy it, to see if you'll like it. So 100%, if you have a vested interest in something, or if you feel like, hey, maybe I should try this out, maybe I should take up archery, then fucking go to a little shooting range and pick up a bow and arrow and see if you're any good. And if
Shoot
you're not,
some
keep
fat
doing
kids with your bow and arrow.
it. Yeah.
Of course.
Of course.
Only other talent thing I can think of is improv, I guess. I mean, I talked about on the podcast, I think, how I went to an improv class, but even before then, improv has been like a thing that I've just always enjoyed, and combined with music as well.
Yeah.
Since I was a kid, I was always playing guitar, and I didn't really enjoy learning like the musical theory side of things, but I always enjoyed playing chords and making up songs on the spot, whether that involves vocals or just fucking, literally improvising on the guitar.
Yeah.
That shit's awesome. There's something very fun about building something from scratch. It's like a video game where you have to like place blocks down while you're running real quick.
Yeah.
Because you have to think quick, or else it falls apart.
Yeah.
But if you get good at it, then you're fucking you're whipping along.
It feels really good. Like if you kill a freestyle rap like first try, you just have the biggest fucking boner in the world.
Even
like
if you
all
just-
the
yeah.
blood from your brain goes directly into your cock.
Oh, big
and
time.
it's fucking
I
fantastic.
got a fucking big cock as well, which is another one of my many talents. Kidding.
Yeah, it's very small.
Tiny, pathetic. Really. Cool. Anything else that you guys wanted to talk about today?
How far are we into the podcast?
All I know is it's over an hour.
Really? Holy shit! This one went by real quick.
Yeah, zoomed on past. You really got me with that deepfake thing.
Yeah,
It's
right.
fucked up.
It was fucking insane.
But yeah, I mean, we don't have to stop if you have something else to talk
No,
about.
I mean, I think that just about wraps it all up.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll
I got something I want to talk about next week, but not this week.
We'll save it. We're going away on a very secret trip pretty soon, so we're going to be like recording 2 episodes next week and preparing in general. We've got a very busy month coming up, so
Very
I really
busy.
hope we can keep on top of everything.
It's going to be very stressful.
It's going to be highly
Yeah.
stressful.
It's not a very busy month. It's a very busy 3 months.
Yeah.
It's
the end of the year,
insane.
dude. It's what it's going to be like from now on,
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have Mason on for next week, and Jay.
Yeah.
They're gonna have their their little figures, and we have some presents for Mason for his birthday. He'll open up next week, and that is going to be absolutely awesome. So, I guess that about wraps it up.
I hope things will be good. I mean, I just want to add, before we end, I'm aware that to the fans at home, the whole vibe might feel a little discombobulated lately with people coming and going and not being on the show and then being on the show or not being in videos or things being sporadic. I just want to say, go fuck yourself. We'll see you next week. I'm just kidding.
No.
Thank you.
I mean, there's a reason for it all,
Sure.
and we really hope we can talk about it someday. But I mean, there's good reasons and bad reasons, and things are just kind of going the way they're going.
Yeah.
But
A
needless
lot
to
of it's
say-
out of our control.
A lot of it's out of our control. But needless to say, we're all feeling pretty good right now, I think, and I really truly believe that we're heading into a much better timeline and a better era,
better
in general,
direction.
for Misfits and for us personally. And I think that it's going to be a real fun end of the year. So you guys can
The
look forward to
end of the
that.
year is going to be fucking Pog, guys. It's going to be Pog Champ.
It's going to be good.
If you don't know what that means, it means it's going to be epic.
Guys, I'm leaving.
Thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this episode of the podcast.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
And
you,
also
Raid.
make sure to use code MISFITS for 30% off on Gamer Subs.
Give it a try.
Check those links in the fucking description, yo.
And come say hi to us at MEO if you're in Melbourne.
And buy our fucking merch. Guys,
yeah.
we'll see you next week. New set, new Misfits, new shit. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry about that.
Goodbye.